What's poppin', y'all? Lil Nas X has recently come back, and it's kind of crazy because I don't know if I mentioned him in particular, but I mentioned him and Jack Harlow before they recently came back and released their songs. And I just had this feeling, I was like, yo, what's going on with these guys? Something's gonna happen soon. And then something happens soon. In the case of Jack Harlow, he gets a number one, which shout out to him. In the case of Lil Nas X, he's kind of back at it with the same formula, which at this point it's pathetic, and I'll get into why. He comes back and he says, hey, you guys mind if I'm enter my Christian era? He posts a snippet to this one song, and then he goes on to basically antagonize the same community of people that he's done since that music video with the devil on it. And he says, making Christian music doesn't mean I can't suck D no more. The two are not mutually exclusive. I'm allowed to get on my knees for multiple reasons. Understandably so, this gets people riled up. And the one thing that I dislike about Lil Nas X is, and I'm giving this guy so many props for being brilliant and funny and a talented artist, which makes me look at him doing stuff like this like, what are you doing? Like, you're stooping to a level of being a clown, and aren't you far enough in your career now that this isn't necessary? But the one thing that I'm talking about that he does is he says something really inflammatory, really disrespectful, and really insulting to something that people value at the core of their lives, whatever it may be, and then he kind of shields back and pretends to be the victim about it. And he consistently does this because in the follow-up tweets, he goes on to say, this is really crazy because all I did was post a song about asking God for hope when you feel hopeless, and y'all acting like I posted a video of me burning a church down and peeing on a nativity scene. And Tyrese was the one that responded to this, saying, y'all gonna learn to stop playing with God. God is not to be played with. From shoes with devil's signs and devil's blood on the shoe sole. We can all change, I get it, but I feel a way about people making a mockery about Jesus. Do you? Life your life. Do what makes you happy, but y'all better stop playing with Jesus out here. Yeah, that's a problem they're going to have to take up with Lil Nas X. But he makes it seem like, oh, he just dropped this snippet without the caption. And this is how he kind of rewrites history and he literally tries to gaslight millions of people. And it's effective. And he'll say, oh, like I just dropped this song about asking God for hope. No, that's not what he did. He dropped that caption, he dropped that follow-up tweet, and people are going to be looking at you a certain way because of what you did and what you've known to have done in the past. And then somebody says, I'm glad this dude fell off, man. And he says, I ain't fall off, I just ain't released my new stuff, which is 100% facts. This guy literally always comes back with a hit. Boonk even called him out, or Gabbana, Sir Gabbana. And then he goes on to say, it's really insane how y'all pretend some of our pastors aren't getting piped down before the Sunday service. Y'all do not know Jesus personally. Stop trying to gatekeep him. And then Lil Nas X does come at a person who says that the fact that Lil Nas X had that satanic album is the problem I have with him making Christian music. He says, the devil's mentioned one time throughout my entire last album, and the line is, tell the devil I won't have him inside, I know everything's gonna be alright. Y'all have spent this entire last week rewriting history over me releasing a snippet. He's right. These people probably didn't listen to his music, which for good reason on their regard, because the most viral things about Lil Nas X since Old Town Road have been either his sneakers or the music video, like the devilish music video. So it's not wrong for them to assume that your album was kind of about that, even though it wasn't. And this is where I got to come at Lil Nas X, because as a marketer, I have respect for this guy. A lot of other things, it's like the music, right? This guy makes amazing music. For someone that was 100% supposed to be a one-hit wonder. Old Town Road is a gimmick song. People tried to make it seem like, oh, nah, it's racism. They didn't let him off on the country charts, this and that. The song was a parody. It wasn't a real song. And you notice that from the fact that he never did country again. Imagine a rapper comes into the game, supposedly, right? Like Weird Al comes into the game. He makes a parody of a rap song. It tops the rap charts or is somewhere up there in the rap charts. He never makes another rap song ever in life. Are you going to look at him and say, damn, they held him back? No, you're going to look at it like, yeah, this guy was a gimmick for this particular song. That song, I think recent stats, it's the most streamed song in history. Wow, this is kind of misleading because people will think, oh, it's the biggest song ever. No, it's not. It came out at the right place at the right time, and it's the biggest song that came out at the right place at the right time, because tons of songs back then, streaming didn't exist. But I think that was also like part of his rollout for us to all know about that or to be informed of that. So Lil Nas X is someone that, like I said, he casts stones and then tries to play the victim. He consistently antagonizes these people, which I don't know why. It works marketing wise, but Lil Nas X has dropped that one EP and an album now. He's had multiple number one hit songs. The guy's proven himself as a mainstay in terms of like pop / rap. This guy can make incredible music. So to see him doing this is like, aren't you past this? Like, what's going on? And I know he can market better than this. Or is this all he knows? Is he a one-trick pony when it comes to, oh, hey, I just have to anger this group of people, get them talking about me, get on this back and forth? And can he anger a group of people in a more fun way? Like not using the same formula? And the thing about it is, I somewhat understand why he's doing it. This formula has always worked and will always work. It's just going to keep working. Nothing's going to happen to Lil Nas X. These people are going to continuously give him a ton of promotion by reacting to what he's done. He is going to antagonize them and then kind of like fall back and do this in and out type of thing with them, gaslight them as well. And then he's probably going to do it the next time. So the only way is to starve him of attention, but these people aren't going to do that because Lil Nas X generates so much attention for them as well. So they're kind of helping each other out to a degree. Now, some people will point at me. I'm just playing the game. And Lil Nas X is a rapper. So that's why I would talk about this. Like if Lil Nas X was talking about some of my beliefs and coming at it like this, I really would just starve him of attention. I wouldn't even talk about him, as I don't talk about a ton of other things that are relatively popular, even within hip hop. But I just think Lil Nas X is such an interesting marketing character as well as a musician, because we have to give respect that this guy can make catchy tunes. People will say, oh, well, maybe he has writers. I don't really think he's got writers like that. A lot of his lyrics are, okay, this guy definitely wrote that. And for someone to come from their bedroom just on Twitter as a Nicki Minaj stan account to the biggest song of a generation, the most streamed song, and then come back with multiple hits after that, that's the closest we've seen. It's not the closest we've seen. That is the organic come-up story of the past 4 or 5 years. That's the only person I've seen in the 2020s that's become arguably near a superstar. I wouldn't say he is a superstar yet because his album just hasn't hit the way like people thought it would. He's more of a singles artist. Now, that doesn't mean his album is bad, but his singles just do much better. He's kind of in that pop category, and their albums almost never sell a ton. Also, did Lil Nas X go on tour yet? That's something I really want to see too. I want to see how much he can sell tickets wise, because we got to remember this dude blew up in 2020, 2021, where people weren't really going on tour. Now he's at the point in his career where he can go on tour, and in that interim, I think he may have not toured, or it was the interim between albums. So he's gearing up to release something. He's dropped a lot of snippets. These snippets sound good, man. I can't argue this guy's talent, which is why it's not amateurish, but it's kind of sad to see him not grow past this into the artist that doesn't need to do these type of things. But people did say that he's the lead of his marketing team, and his label lets him cook. They let him do what he wants, and they kind of just pour gasoline on the flame of whatever he decides to spark up. But I want to see him kind of transition, because I don't think he's going to get to a point where people just respect his music and his art. And I still think to a degree this guy's a troll, which maybe is like the male version of Doja Cat in the sense that they want attention at all costs. But at least from Doja Cat's perspective, she just takes the attention and keeps it pushing for the most part, except for like the one time when she was like, oh, I really want to quit this and that. However, for Lil Nas X, I don't think he likes just being praised. I think he enjoys the hate, because he's gotten a ton of hate in his career, and then he pretends like it's had him down, and I definitely know for a fact it has had him down at certain points. But he decides to come back and double down or antagonize the same people again and again, and they give him a ton of hate, and he goes through the same process. I think he's addicted to attention. I would say he's the male Doja Cat in this regard. He's weird. He makes great music like Doja Cat. Doja Cat's music is way better, though. They're not even in the same playing field. I would say he's more like minor league. She's major league. Music quality wise. Now, if it comes to hits, he's got some hits, but he hasn't had the longevity in the game that Doja Cat has had yet. So I'm interested to see where Lil Nas X goes from here. Is he going to drop another music video that's antagonizing the same people? Because keep in mind, this is just a caption and a snippet that's got certain people in a storm and in a frenzy. Now, imagine if he's got something cooked up that is going to be even more inflammatory. The one thing that you can say, though, is that if the music was garbage, you wouldn't even be able to get outrage because it wouldn't even clock people's radars. But it's continuously doing that. I just think it's sad to see him still use the same means of promotion at the level of career he's at. It's kind of like when you saw Lil Pump get really, really popular. He's with Ye, and then he's still doing the same like jester, clownish behavior. You're just looking at it like, man, are you going to grow up? Hey, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.